We're live tonight. I can barely hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shalom, shalom, and welcome to Yahweh's Biblical Research Study class. This is Thursday again. They're coming so quickly. First, we're going to stand and say a prayer to our Father Yahweh. We'll say our national prayer, and then we will say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. We'll stand and face the east. O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from these heathen, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praise. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh and Israel forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your law. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against our works. For surely our prayers, our sacrifices, our lives, and our death are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim, Ika De Shemerka, Kavo Makanterka, Yase Rizonka, Ivashemayim Kain Ba'aret, Et Lekat Kain Nu, Tain Lanu Kayon, Uslak Lanu, All Parter Enu, Kimocha Soul King, Romanaknu, Lakoteum Lanu, Vial Tevienu, Wade Ni Sayon, King Satan, Mean Hurrah, Kilkar, Hamumlaha, they are Gibberah, they are Teferet, they over me, Selah. We thank thee, Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. Praise Yahweh. Well, it is truly a pleasure to be before you again. As usual, I'm advised that you have pencil and paper. You want to definitely take notes. We will cover some things about the sun that the world has not talked about. The world has not taught us how to determine who the sun is, how he'll look, works that he will do. First, I like to testify that Yahweh is God, that his son's name is Yahweh ben Yahweh. Everywhere that you read Lord and God in the Bible, the original reads Yahweh. Lord and God appear in the Bible about 7,000 times. I'm saying that so that you will know that he's serious about us knowing his name and calling his name. Nobody has the authority to change our Father's name. He named himself. His name is Yahweh. John 5:43 says, the Son said, I come in my Father's name. It's important for us to know the Father's name because the Son says he come in his Father's name. If you don't know the Father's name, it's impossible for you to know the Son's name. So the Son's name, he said he come in his Father's name. Yahweh, Ben means son, so that's Yahweh, the Son, Yahweh. So when we're reading the Bible, everywhere that you read Lord and God, we say Yahweh, call him by his name. And anything that's referring to the Son, we do what he said. Because he said he comes in his Father's name, so we're going to do what he said. And again, welcome. A scripture that we always talk about, which is 2 Timothy 2:15. And you want to write this down. And it says, study to show thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. Now, the word study in Hebrew means lahag, and that means intense mental application. Intense mental. Now, if we don't read the Bible, because most homes, the Bible, if you have one, it's on the shelf. Although it is still the world's best-selling book in the world, but we sit it on the shelf. Now, again, lahag, which is study, means intense mental application. So what we study, we have to apply it to our mind. Once we apply it to our mind, then we'll live accordingly. If you're not studying Yahweh's word, which he tells us to meditate day and night, that's what he said. Meditate day and night. Most people meditate on other things other than what he teach us to meditate on. Praise Yahweh. Now, we've talked about this scripture many times in Revelations, which is Revelations 12:9. And this is scripture we must understand, because we're not talking about just calling words, but we're talking about understanding the word, getting the wisdom of the word. In Revelations 12:9, it says, and that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. See, it's not a new serpent, it's an old fella, been around for at least 6,000 years. That old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceive the whole world. Most of the world don't know that they have been deceived. That's why they are comfortable in this world. That's why they're always trying to fix this world. But we see in this world, it's getting immorality is an all-time high. Ethics don't exist anymore. But as a friend told me, Yahweh is pulling the cover off these people so we can see them. But the devil deceived the whole world. The devil, which are people now, and he's called that old serpent, the devil and Satan. He just didn't deceive part of the world. He has the whole world thinking one way, acting one way, unethical and immoral. That has become the standard of this society. If you're moral, then they're wondering what's wrong with you, where you been, who you been listening to. But those of us that implement morality in our everyday living, we're special people. And again, you can only do this by 2 Timothy 2:15, studying, implementing the word every day. That's the only way we're going to overcome this deception. Anaya, can you give us the word deception, please? I mean, deceived, excuse, deceived. While Anaya is looking that up, deceived the whole world, it say he was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. You see, this is a party. This is a group of people. See, Yahweh is referring to them as his angels. See, his angels, talking about Lucifer, is going to promote anything against Yahweh. They're not going to teach Yahweh. They're going to teach you it's all right to be immoral. They're going to teach you that. And then some become comfortable in being immoral. It becomes a standard for you. We become numb to immorality. And some even begin to appreciate it and like it and even justify it. Anaya, do you have deceived?
I do have deceive, yes. So
Yes,
first of
sir.
all, the etymology for the word deceive is from the old French word deceivoir, which means to mislead or to cheat. To
Now wait just a minute. We don't have Anaya saying these words just for himself. He enjoy it, but it's really to enhance you or direct you in understanding what Yahweh is talking. He's talking to us so that you can really understand. Did you say the word cheat, Anaya?
yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead. Start again, Brother Anaya.
The etymology for the word deceive is from the old French word deceivoir, which means to mislead or to cheat.
Wait a minute. Anaya, great some time gonna be. It says to mislead you.
Yes, sir.
Deceived means the world has been misled.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about deceived. The whole world. And see, we in the world. So he's talking to us. Yahweh is talking to us. He's letting us know that we've been deceived by the devil and his angels. Now, when I say in his angels, I'm not talking about some people with some wings on now. Because, see, we've been deceived to believe that too. It's like Santa Claus in a sled flying in the air with reindeer. He taught us that too. Yeah, we keep Christmas. Nowhere in the Bible, but we've been deceived. I'm not. I'm not. Go ahead, brother.
The etymology of the word
Amen.
deceive is from the French word deceivoir, which means to mislead, to cheat, to ensnare, or to beguile.
Mm,
The
mm.
definition of deceive is to mislead or trick someone into believing something false.
Wait a minute, Naya. Anaya said, deceive means we have been tricked to believe something false. Now you have to ask yourself a question. How have you been tricked? Through this world's religions, through this world's educational system, through this world, all of their institution was about us being tricked to believe something that's not true. And if we don't come to understand that, we will stay and operate in deception, thinking it's true, trusting in a trick, trusting in a lie. Come on now.
Deceive, definition, to mislead or trick someone into believing something false. Definition, to intentionally withhold the truth or create a false impression.
And this was intentionally done to us. Wasn't no coincidence, intentionally done to us. Yes, sir, Naya.
Deceive, to act dishonestly for personal gain. Deceive, to disappoint or betray expectations. Meaning, to deceive is to manipulate perception, leading someone to believe something that is untrue. It can be intentional or sometimes unintentional. Deception is often associated with trickery, dishonesty, misleading appearances. In a moral or spiritual sense, deception is frequently linked to falsehood, illusion, and betrayal.
Woo.
That's it.
See, hopefully, if you didn't write these words down, because each one of these words that Brother Naya is sharing gives you another color of what has been done to us mentally. And if you don't study these words, you're going to miss one of the colors. And then that allows you to be weak in a particular area mentally. So you have to look these words up so you can understand what Yahweh is saying when he say the devil deceived the whole world. The whole world has been tricked. Okay, we're going to do it. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Thank you, Brother Naya. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Chapter 8, verse 11. And it says, beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God Yahweh. It says, beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God Yahweh in not keeping his commandments, in not keeping his judgments, in not keeping his statutes, which I command thee this day. Now, see, some of us who've been around a while and who have not been around a while or new to this, it says, beware that thou forget not Yahweh's laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments. And now can you give us beware?
Beware,
Yes, sir.
beware. Etymology. Beware is from the Middle English bewaring, which means to be on one's guard or to take heed. Definition: to be cautious.
So wait just a minute. It says to take heed.
Yes, sir.
See, Yahweh is warning us. This beware is a warning. It's this word not here just for the sake of pronunciating it. This is a warning to us. Go ahead, Anaya.
The etymology from the English, Old English, Middle English, bewaring, which means to be on one's guard or to take heed, to be cautious or to guard against. Definition: to be cautious or alert to danger or deception. Definition: to take precaution against potential harm or trouble. Definition: to avoid or refrain from something harmful. To be to beware means to stay vigilant and on guard against threats, deception, or harm. It is often used as a warning, urging someone to be alert and cautious in situations where danger, physical, financial, moral, or spiritual, may be present. In the biblical and moral context, beware is frequently associated with avoiding sin, avoiding false teachings, and avoiding
Mm.
deceit.
Good gracious. Now see, beware in your mind. Beware in your mind. If you don't study the word beware, you don't know what to look out for. You're just saying beware. That's all you're just saying, beware. But this is a warning. This is instruction from Yahweh. See, people don't take the Bible and use it for today. They'll talk about it all the way in the past as if it don't apply. Right now, Yahweh is telling us to be aware. Anaya is giving you multiple words. Beware in your mind. Now, if you're new and you don't know Yahweh, that means that you forgot him. If you don't or you're not aware of his laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments, then that means you forgot him. If you've been around and Yahweh gives instructions and you don't abide by those instructions, that means you forgot him. And I'm going to give you one example. Yahweh command his children to keep the feast. He commands us to keep his feast. And he's so specific, he says how many days that he want us to keep them. If we don't abide by what he says, then understand that we don't forget what he said. To know what he says is to be obedient to what he said. If any time is time for his children to do what he said, the time is now. We as his children cannot mislead those that must come. Praise Yahweh. Anaya, that's beware, right?
Yes, sir.
Get, why are we saying forget? Let's look up forget also.
He said, forget.
Yes, sir. Forget. Yes, sir. Forget. Now, you don't get an excuse if you don't know his law. Then that means you got to start studying quick, fast, in a hurry so that you can conform, so that you can intense mental application. There is no excuse. Because when you hear the name Yahweh, when you study to know that is his name, then something in you need to understand that I need to be obedient to my Father. And something inside you should tell you that I have not been obedient to my Father, and he's giving me a chance to conform, to overcome this world. You have it, Anaya, forget?
I do. Forget.
Come on.
Etymology. Forget is from the Old English, forgeton, which means to lose remembrance of or to neglect.
So if you don't do what Yahweh is saying, now you're neglecting him. Just imagine now, we have a chance to return back to Yahweh, and we are creating reasons not to return to him. Go ahead, Anaya.
The word suggests failure to retain or recall something once held in the mind.
Those of us that's been around, we have a serious responsibility if he's our father, if we say he's our father. Those who have not been around, you got a short time to get it right. See, the world has talked to us about we're under grace, but when you look up the word grace, it means a short time to get it right. See, when you become familiar of Yahweh, then that's your time to get it right. Don't neglect him, because he may neglect you in the time of trouble. Come on now.
Definition: to fail to remember something, to unintentionally lose awareness or knowledge of something, to disregard or neglect,
Mm.
to move beyond or let go of emotionally. Forget is to experience a lapse in memory or attention, whether intentional or accidental. It is an absent mindedness, a deeper release, a deliberate act of neglect.
A deliberate act of neglect.
Yes, sir.
So some people gonna deliberately neglect him. Is that what you're saying tonight?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Spiritually and philosophically, forgetting can signify detachment, ignorance, or even a loss of identity and heritage.
Mm, mm,
That's it.
mm. What you say? That's it. That's it. All right. Isaiah 11 and 11. Isaiah 11 and 11. Isaiah 11 and 11. Isaiah 11 and 11 says, "And it shall come to pass in that day." A lot of times you will hear the word, or those two words, that day. See, this is that day that the Lord Yahweh shall set his hand again. He's going to do this again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. The remnant of his people which shall be left. Then it says, shall be left from Asia. What is Adonai? Asariah and Egypt and Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and for Shinar and from Hamath and from the island of the sea. See where it says Yahweh going to recover us the second time, and then it says a remnant. See, that's a small amount of people who's not going to neglect Yahweh. See, this world has been so deceived to people have just become satisfied in it. But he's going to recover a remnant of his people. We won't get into this right now, but see when it says his people, it's also mean his kind. His kind. And when you see these different names down here, those are different nations that we're going to be recovered from. That's just see, Egypt is a nation. Pathros, you're talking about some people where we're going to be scattered. But last week we talked about Judah being in America. All right. So he said he's going to recover the second time. Now go to keep your finger on that. And go to Deuteronomy 28, Deuteronomy chapter 28, Deuteronomy chapter 28, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. You see where it says again? Now we've been in Egypt one time in the past under Pharaoh. So this again, just a second time we're here. And when you look up the word Egypt, it means so many negative things, a land of darkness and misery, a land of deception. Just like devils, you read about devil, he deceived the whole world. But it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. That's how we were brought here to America, in ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, not friends, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Were we sold? Yes. Were we bought here in ships? Yes. And Yahweh says in Isaiah 11:11, he's going to recover us again. Can you give us recover, Anaya?
Recover. Etymology from the Old French recover, which means to regain, retrieve, or get back. Definition: to regain possession, health,
See, he's going to gain what, Anaya?
to regain possession,
See, to gain possession. Pronounce that word again, Anaya.
possession,
To gain possession. See, Yahweh gonna gain possession. If he has to gain possession, who do you think have us now? Lucifer and his angel. But Yahweh is going to gain,
regain.
regain. See that? Just, just, just take your time in Yahweh. He's going to regain us. Means somebody else got us, got our mind. So he's going to regain us, take possession of us, take us back from Lucifer, Satan, the devil. Teach us how to regain our own mind back. Come on, now.
Recover, to regain possession, to regain health.
Health,
Yes, sir.
Health.
Yes, sir.
So that means we sick. And Yahweh has the power, if we are obedient to him, that we can regain health.
Sir.
We're talking about the man that made the sun. And the sun is much older than us. And it's there. So never doubt Yahweh. But we can't neglect him. We have to be obedient to him. And regain health requires us to change our diet. There's a whale. There's a whale that can live up to 500 years. I used to talk about a tree living 3,000
Since we're having some tactical difficulties.
Hello. Can I'm guessing brother Amon can't get back in.
Yeah, I'm trying to help him right now.
Oh, okay. All right.